they want me to go, ladies and gentlemen. Prime Minister. I may very well stay there with the help of God and the people of Dominica until my son Dimitri start making children. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. He was wrapping up last night at St. Joseph when the members of the cabinet met with the people of St. Joseph. Let's listen again. If it's ready, go they want me to go, ladies and gentlemen. I may very well stay there with the help of God and the people of Dominica until my son Dimitri start making children. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. This is Q95. Good afternoon. Maybe you missed it. Let's listen. If it's ready, go they want me to go, ladies and gentlemen. I may very well stay there with the help of God and the people of Dominica until my son Dimitri start making children. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. So the Prime Minister is in for a very long time. According to what he's predicted, his son, he says, until his son Dimitri makes children. That should be a long time ago. A long time away. I told you this morning the Prime Minister seemed to be in for a long haul. Hello, talk to me.
Yes, Matt. Good afternoon.
How you doing, sir?
Not bad. So, which one of the Roosevelt's carry do we believe? The one when he said about a week or so ago that he's preparing to leave shortly, or the one where he's now saying he'll be there till his son Dimitri ready to make children?
Well, I don't know. That's for you.
Exactly. So you see, you jump into conclusions too quick. One point he's saying that he's leaving shortly, and then he comes back and he says he'll be there till his son Dimitri. Matt, this is a real con artist, and all he's trying to do, I don't know if you ever hunt manikou, possum. When they see you coming, they play dead to see what's going on, so you will pass them over. All Scarrett is doing is playing dead to see what kind of funeral he'll get. Tell him he is already, so don't bother play dead already. The people of Dominica have asked him to go, and it would be in his interest and the interest of the country that he leave quietly and peacefully with whatever little dignity he presumed that he has left, rather than to leave in total disgrace, because the country has already been disgraced by Roosevelt and this gang of criminals that form the criminal enterprise he calls a cabinet. Good afternoon.
All right, thank you very much. Let's move on to the next telephone call. Hello?
Matt Pelty, good afternoon to you and your listeners.
How are you doing?
Not bad at all. Mr. Scarrett, stay. Don't resign now. Stay until Dimitri making children, and you will see what would be the outcome of it. If it's hard, your head hard. Stay, don't worry, don't move. If you feel you are not the servant of the people and you are the masters of the people, when we tell you to leave and go, you don't want to go. I just cannot understand that, Matt. It's like you hire somebody.
Doesn't he sound like a very confident Prime Minister?
Excuse me?
Doesn't he sound like a confident Prime Minister?
When I hear him, he's a very coward.
He's a coward?
He's very coward. His back is against the wall. This man doesn't know if he's running, he doesn't know if he's coming. At one point in time, you see he put on a kind of a face, trying to smile. That is a man that is under a lot of pressure, saying to the people that one of them there will be Prime Minister. On the other hand, he's saying if he's forced, they won't say. This man has lost his mind. And while he goes down to St. Joseph, offering the people of St. Joseph, not promising 4 million, here promising, the very same public officers are listening, they're hearing that they cannot get 5%. They're saying that cannot make 5%. And whether he calls an election or he doesn't call an election, he and his administration will go. And we will not sit down in Dominica and allow him to call another election without voter ID card. If you say, Major, stay till Dimitri making children, and you will see the strength of Dominicans. If you think it's joke, we are joking with you. Thank you and good afternoon.
Thank you and good afternoon. Let's take another phone call. Hello, talk to me.
Mr. Belcher, blessings to you, sir.
My brother, how you doing?
Cool. Copy. Sorry, Matt, let me lower my...
Do your thing.
Me, sir?
I'm here.
Yeah, Copy, let me wish you well. Blessings to you and your family. Matt, you there having a dessert, man.
I'm here.
You don't think it's Lucille that bring that for you? Lucille, blessings to you. Matt, listen to Roosevelt Scary. Listen to him. Years ago, he was there for 2050. Then a couple of weeks ago, he said that one of them fellas going to take over him because that's his last election.
That's what I heard.
He want to be there till when Dimitri making babies. But that is the ranting and the raving of a mad man. I'd really like to see your records on I mean, me, everybody, I know have diabetes. I mean, I lose 2 toes, one in Dominica, one in Barbados. But, Scary, can you make yours public? Matt, I have concluded years ago, Roosevelt Skerritt is a madman. Literally speaking, not figuratively. I'm figuratively speaking, you know, Matt. That man is a madman, and what he's doing is play on the ignorance and the emotions of the people. So guess what? He's not going to give an account for all the allegations and accusations, but he can come to St. Joseph, promise $4 million, and then he start talking nonsense like Dimitri making babies. That man is disrespectful, abusive, inconsiderate, brutal, and criminally minded. That's what he is. I tell you, he takes pride in having the set of people, they clapping every foolishness he talk about, not taking into consideration the reality in which they live, Matt, where they cannot pay their bills, where they have to sleep by their mother, and they have to do all manner of immoral things to survive, to survive, not even to prosper, Matt. Young women and young men. And that boy is not taking people into consideration. All the boy is doing is self-preservation. He can only protect himself. So now can come to St. Joseph. Matt, lucky the boy, lucky I was not there, you know. Because as I tell you, I wanted to be 2 places at the same time, and I really was determined to be there. And even make a request for $20,000, you know, Matt, too. Because that's my passport money. So really and truly, when I listen to Roosevelt Skerritt, my brethren, that is the utterances of a mad man. And the Dominicans, one day, even after you bury the body, or you can bury me, or you'll bury me, but or you cannot bury the I in me, I am in me. And I am saying people have to say, you know, blessings always is that Roosevelt Skerritt was a madman. Maybe when they have him in a straight jacket and injecting him left, right, and center, Dominicans will come to the realization we are dealing with a loose cannon who is mentally not fit to hold the position of Prime Minister. Thank you, King. Take care.
Thank you, too. While the Prime Minister spoke last night, some people seem very happy about the pronouncement.
If it's ready, go they want me to go, ladies and gentlemen. I may very well stay there with the help of God and the people of Dominica until my son Dimitri start making children. Good night.
All right, that was the Prime Minister last evening. Dimitri is how old now? Maybe 4? Is he? Yes, the son. I think the son, somebody's suggesting to me, maybe 4. I don't pay too much attention to that. Hello, talk to me. But hello. 4493095. Hello.
Matt.
Yes.
You see when you play with the devil, what the devil does do to you? He takes your mind and he allows you to say all sorts of foolishness. I'm praying that he would come to Cadenfield and have a town hall meeting for me to ask him about the passport that is being in the hands of crooks and criminals. And I would like to ask him about Monfared, who was hiding in Mont Daniel. And I would like to ask him which ambassador that has the vehicle of Monfared. I would like to ask him which restaurant that was feeding Monfared. These are the questions. I don't want him to come there and say, well, he promising money to Cadenfield. Of course, we would accept the money because it's our money. But we want to put questions. So because he doesn't want questions, he comes with big figures and he's not giving anything. You know, it's just promise. That is a con artist. Just go there and promise the people and he think all is well. He think it's everybody he can play on their mind. He think it's everybody that's stupid. But I'm telling him he has to will and come again. And I'm praying for him to come to Cadenfield because we have questions for us to put to him. Thank you.
Thank you too. Now that clip is making it viral. Hello, talk to me.
Matt,
That's what people are talking about. Hello.
Mr. Skerritt will stay as long as he can get to steal the election. Mr. Skerritt, no, he never won a fair election. He bribed the people them with his checkbook and material. He knows it. Come on, fair. Stop buying the people from overseas.
118. I asked the question this morning, if an election were to be called in Dominica, who would win that election, or what party would win?
If it's ready, go they want me to go, ladies and gentlemen. I may very well stay there with the help of God and the people of Dominica until my son Dimitri start making children. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, let's take another phone call. Hello, talk to me.
Yes, my brethren. Inasmuch Dimitri cannot have children, it means that he will really go. Because the people will push him out. He needs to be pushed out, man. Blessing.
All right. What about the ballot? Hello.
Good afternoon to you and the listening. It will not be the first lie Honorable Roosevelt, liar, doctor, says. There is nothing that comes out from his mouth that I even listening to. I don't know why he doesn't even play what he's saying for, you know. So many people tired of hearing that all lying.
Yesterday somebody was saying, Matt, why don't you play what was in Peachley? No, he doesn't like to hear it. Hello, talk to me. My brother.
Roy Tavern Yusuf Ray. But first, Roosevelt Skerritt is right, you know. I don't know why you all are blabbing for about Skerritt. The man is right. No, he would not stay there with the help of God, because God does not deal with evil and corruption. But if Roosevelt Skerritt is allowed, and bear with me, you know, the population of Dominica are not people of European descent, you know. I want you to get this into your mind. They are people of a very poor country. They are not white people at all. When you operate in a poor country like the Caribbean and people are poor, they have no job, no houses, as the lady a little while ago tell you, you can bribe your way through and you will win elections. If he's allowed to use the same modus operandi, which is bribing people with money, with plywood, with galvanized and cement and blocks, he will win the elections. If he transports slaves from America, from Canada, from England and the rest of the Caribbean, bring them here to vote for him and go back, he will win the election, of course. If there is no electoral reform, Roosevelt Skerritt will win. And I'm telling you once more, you know, that the UWP, you know, Matt, if they think, and that is from their most fervent supporter, if they think they can win elections there without putting all those things I've mentioned in place, like get electoral reform on the fund burner, let that happen, stop the bribing, stop the transportation of slaves, that they have a chance. But if that is not done, I will tell you for sure, the chances of them winning an election will still remain an elusive dream. And finally, Matt, I predict elections to be in June. Those town hall meetings are meant for one thing, you know. If you listen to them and extrapolate fact from fiction, what are you going to observe is that they go around the country telling the people how much money they got. They got plenty. I said to you the other day, if you get the tip from McIntyre, he'll tell you, you're telling people of, is it Boutica? I forgot the place. The amount of money that they've got. So when they go around spreading all that to Scott Z, Sufre elsewhere, the people know that they have plenty of money, they know they can be bribed, and they will vote for Labour, Matt. But that is the kind of society in which we live, Matt, you know? And as I said, whether you like them or not, and you will have observed again, Matt, lastly, that in those town hall meetings, no questions are allowed. And even though questions are allowed, Matt, let us be frank, Matt. Do you think those people who are going to those town hall meetings who depend on Labour would ask any hard questions of Skerritt? What they would probably ask him is, hey, Skerritt, I heard you have 3 dimples and I can only see 2. So can you confirm, the same thing that Curtis Murphy would ask him, can you confirm that you have only 2 dimples and not 3? You know, they would never ask him any hard questions because those people are dependent, their livelihoods depend on Skerritt. So if you allow them that to happen, he will always win from now till the end of time. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. We'll be talking to the opposition leader, maybe ask some specific questions this afternoon. A very successful meeting of the opposition in Lago last night, but was that enough? 122. Hello, are you there? No, hello?
Yes, Matt.
I'm here.
You asked that question. If an election were to call, how many seats that... What was the question? Word to that effect?
I said, how many seats do you think the opposition would comfortably win?
If an election is called now, the opposition Freedom Party and UWP, among them, 16 seats. And the Dominican Labour Party will only take Colliho, Portsmouth, Granby, Cottage, and the Carinago territory. Mark my words.
I am marking a word, Cooper. Let's take another phone call. I'm getting calls all the way from Boston here. Hello.
Yes, Matt.
Yes, sir.
Sarkozy had all his bodyguards, you know, and they still slapped in his face in France.
Stick around, as I said. We're standing by from Q now to...
If it's ready, go they want me to go, ladies and gentlemen. I may very well stay there with the help of God and the people of Dominica until my son Dimitri start making children. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, let's take another phone call there. Many phone calls. Hello. Hello. Are you there, caller? No, the caller's not paying attention. Hello.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm paying attention, Matt.
Oh, you are paying attention. Go ahead, sir. Seem very...
I have a question for you.
You ask me any question.
Every little fly on a wall, you say you're calling the opposition leader. Why aren't you calling the Prime Minister? Call his president.
The Prime Minister is not available as the opposition leader is. I've made that very clear. Hello, talk to me.
Yes, good afternoon, Matt.
How are you, sir?
Not bad. Matt, as far as I'm concerned, it's excitement that's going on there now.
Oh, it's excitement now, okay.
Yeah, excitement, because at the end of the day, Matt, you will observe again, the Prime Minister is not serious. Sometime last week or 2 weeks ago, he said he wanted to go and come and play as a sympathy. He realized, and by the way, you must watch it very well. When he told the people he would go and somebody else will take over, remember they gave him a clap out. They don't tell him, no, don't worry, no. They clap him out. So he realized, wow, even my people clapping me out. So I'm in trouble. So he realized, no, let me change his strategy now to bring some kind of intimidatory tactics to think. Because, Mark, let me tell you, Scary is not the champion. I will tell you something now as we speak. And I've said that before, and that's my view. I expect people to respect my view. Mark, electoral reform or not, this government must go. People are fed up with Scary. Let me tell you something. They are fed up with Scary. And I'm telling you, I'm just banking on the Rosa-Soft model of how things can work. And don't get me wrong, look at Rosa North, one of the largest constituencies, and everybody thought Labour was anchored. You know what happened? Labourites voted against Labour, you know. So even if you get electoral reform and ID card, you still have to go to the people because you have your political preference. It's you to bring your message. So I'm telling you, that's my own conviction. People are fed up, but that tactic is used as a boy to make people give up. Mr. Scott is not the man there. Even Scott can lose his seat, my friend. Don't get me wrong. People are fed up. It's not progress we're making under Scott per se, you know. They may be getting the help, but it's not progress. You're not seeing you moving from A to B. You see, you are still struggling. And that is the kind of thing. So that kind of showmanship that's going on there. People have to respect what you play. Yes, of course, Carrot played his game. But I just like advice because remember, the people clap him out already. So he go there now in St. Joseph for people to clap him in. Why he got rejected? Imagine when people, Madam, you can remember when Ian said he was leaving? Ian Pinard. You know, people cried down in Soufriere, and immediately, you know what they told him? No, don't go, we love you, stay there. Sky don't get that when he make the pronouncement. They clap him out. So the people were glad to come out on your back, and he's giving the... Mark, the man is stifling the Labour Party, and one of the reasons why these guys will always want Skerrit there, and I suspect that, because they feel if one of them take up the mantle, they will not know what to do. It appears that money is not available in their eyes. Money is available somewhere where Skerrit knows, and they don't know about it. So they're afraid. That's why they tell you, if it's not Skerrit, who? Because they don't know what to do after, because they don't know where the money is coming from.
You know, I like you. You're a very objective person. This morning I asked a question that I really haven't gotten the answer for. If an election were to be called, my good friend, former public relations officer of the United Workers' Party, where you think it would go at this time? Let me see if I can get an answer from you.
So I will repeat the same thing I said. People are desperate to remove that party. I'm telling you, with or without electoral reform, I'm of the view that people are ready to take down these guys. The point is you have seen past elections and you have seen how they have won. And they were so confident. They used to say 18-3. Now I don't hear them saying 15-6. It might be just 13. It might be just 13-8. You get my point? So
I am following you. I'm following you.
You have to know that. And I will tell you, my friend, I'm telling you right now, the way it is there.
My brother, break it down for me in reality.
I'm going to break it down for you.
Yes, I need to get that answer.
As we speak there right now, labor rights, UWP rights, freedom rights, whether you regularize the list or not, we remove scare, my friend. UWP will come and the people want a change.
Okay.
And that's not going to stop them to scare it. Talk is just talk. You're looking for more sympathy and more sympathy. I told you they clap him out already. Labor rights clap him out. That means you have had enough. Go.
Okay, thank you very much. Somebody says, as long as Q continues to highlight what Scarrett said without saying anything about the powerful meeting UWP had last night, we'll be talking about that in a few minutes. But you don't know what you want. Somebody's asking for something that Mr. Scarrett said in Pishley earlier. Now you're saying you don't want to hear about Scarrett. My boy, you have to decide, or lady, you have to decide what you really want. I'm all across the board. Somebody's now accusing me of being a labor right. Who am I? I like me. Hello, talk to me.
Good afternoon, Matt.
Yeah, how are you doing?
Matt, if a young man goes to a farmer's farm and steals a bunch of bananas, he's considered a thief, right?
Yeah.
Right. So if the government uses all sorts of machinations to win elections, they can be considered likewise, right?
Mm-hmm.
Matt, what is frightening is that you have a lot of persons who call themselves Christians, preachers and so, are supporting the government, and not even the government, are very close to the Prime Minister supporting this government. It's frightening. So, and they go up to the pulpit on Sundays and preach the gospel, Matt, they have to reconsider that. And I'm leaving that to them, those preachers who are listening, and those so-called Christians.
I haven't heard the preachers in a long time. What's going on?
Okay. Good afternoon, Matt.
Yes, I'm saying good afternoon to you, too. I'm saying, hello, talk to me. Hello.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mark.
Yes, sir.
And how are you?
Good, sir.
Well, Mr. Mark, as you know, Wednesday that passed the Prime Minister was at Loda.
Yes.
I would like to share a few things. What
he said, yes.
Yes. So, Mr. Mark, first thing, I cannot say nothing well attended, but one thing first instance I didn't appreciate. When I look at the school, how the school was jam-packed, but when I look and I turn back, I see probably, I would say, a dozen people, and the rest of the people, the majority of the people was outside.
Okay.
And to see the outside there, I don't know, and that was for the village. Anyway, to continue, when he do take stock, he make his presentation. After that, he say, we'll ask question. The first instance, when I look at it and I hear things that he said he going to assist there, I wonder, if each village in Dominica, for instance, Prime Minister have to come and to give that, I mean, where he going, it's not mango that ripening, it's not leaf that falling on tree. For instance, he said, starting on small business, he going to give 150,000 as for small business. When he do take stock, he said 300, I think, for housing. On housing, I hear, and I giving that loud and clear, especially for my village. If you have your daughter, and you make sure everybody make mistake in life, but you cannot tell me your daughter coming with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 children embarrassing you, and you calling on the Prime Minister you would like to see at Loda have a few houses turned to a housing scheme. Only to put children, you letting your house jump back. You have your daughter. I'm saying no Prime Minister cannot do that. You have a daughter, control your daughter for that matter. You mean to tell me you need your hand in going and search and bring children at your parents, and your parents cannot turn in that house and you're asking for a little housing scheme? I disagree with that one. That's number 2. When I look at it again, he promised $10,000. Make free promise. But I didn't see him sign no check. That is word of mouth. He take note for sure. But no check. 300,000, 150, and 10,000 he going to give for the Loda village. I'm calling, yes, we need assistance. Because I myself, I saying it loud and clear. I trying small as it is to help myself. I mean, a little flour you can plant, you can make a little money on it. You cannot sit down and embarrass your people. And when you do take stock, let us come together. We have a company, Damek. He make 14 million. Nobody done getting a day's work from Dumlek. And to see work that in that village, no work. Small business, they're going to extend. When you open a little business at 11 o'clock, 6 o'clock, you mean to tell me what's the sale you're getting? You're going to take loan to put on your money on your account again? I saying, put work. Let the people, if the people have work, you can sponsor money. But no work, you cannot only take money. We had that tree falling down. I would like to come and collect some money from that tree. So I'm calling on my people in my village, especially young men, young girls, and particularly young girls, not only to dress in a kind of a way and go in and look for children, embarrass your parents. I will never accept that. We all make mistakes. I love children, but that is not a good policy.
Mr. McLaw up there in Loda. Last night we heard the opposition calling for a government of national unity, the Opposition United Workers' Party. Let's listen a bit to Mr. Lennox Linton. We'll talk to him a little later. There's some questions, and I'm sure he needs to say thank you for the great turnout last night. But let's listen to Lennox. Welcome back to Mr. Lennox Linton in the middle. Let's take a phone call. Hello.
Yes, Matt. Good afternoon.
Sir.
Matt, a very interesting program, Matt. And Matt, I want to just tell the people of Dominica that they really need to stop listening to this rhetoric and get to reality of what is going on in Dominica. When Roosevelt Carrot came to St. Louis last night and talked this BS that he's talking, Matt, that there is no way Carrot itself should be allowed to even run as a candidate in the next election, based on the 13, based on the rottenness that he has caused Dominica to be involved in, Matt, right now. I mean, for Carrot to even have the balls to even stand up in St. Joseph and talk about running the next election, Matt, come on. I mean, people you need to stand up. I mean, lives need to be sacrificed. If it takes that, I mean, it has to happen, Matt. Carrot should never be ever eligible to run again as a candidate, Matt. Thank you.
Okay, I'm trying my very best to get to the statement of Lennox Linton last evening, and then I'll talk to him. Talk to me. Hello.
Mr. Peltier, two things quickly.
Yes, quick.
Matt, I am saying, you get the answer to the question this morning. I am saying, if that remain in the absence of electoral reform, it's a walk in the park. I don't know where the complacency came from, where guys think they're going to beat Skerrit, because guess what? Oh, Matt, I've heard that many times for years now. All the indicators were showing workers going to win, and workers keep losing and losing and losing. I cannot understand why. So what, all your double standard like Skerrit too? No, we can win without electoral reform. I thought we were saying there will be no damn election in the absence of electoral reform. What are we doing? Are we contradicting ourselves? Or complacency kicks in? We satisfy ourselves. Skerrit is cornered. Skerrit is never cornered. As long as you have the treasury at his disposal, and according to somebody yesterday, there is more than one treasury. Skerrit is going to manipulate the outcome of the elections unless Dominicans that are opposed to this madness sacrifice whatever by any means necessary to stop that madman that is running amok with affairs of governance. I'll make it one because I take too much time on one. Take care.
If it's ready, go they want me to go, ladies and gentlemen. I may very well stay there with the help of God and people of Dominica until my son Dimitri starts making children. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Remember Renee. Jeff Joe, who passed at a Martinique hospital today. Shocking news for Dominica, the region, and the world. On the line in Jeff Joe constituency last evening, that's where the Prime Minister made that statement. On the line with me, of course, I'm trying to get the statement from last evening, getting a little problem with that. I don't know why. But Lennox Linton, good afternoon to you. How are you?
Good afternoon, Matthias Peltier Jr. Good afternoon to the people of Concord and Marigot, the Patriots of Dominica at home and abroad. It's a good-looking Friday, Matt.
Well, you heard what sounds like a very confident Prime Minister who says that he may stick around until his son, Dimitri, is having a son himself.
Yeah, well, the Prime Minister will stick around for as long as the Prime Minister wants to stick around. The decision as to how long the Prime Minister will stick around in the office of Prime Minister belongs to the people of Dominica. The Prime Minister behaves and speaks like a man who owns Dominica, who, regardless of what foolishness he does in the office of Prime Minister, regardless of what disgraces he brings to the office of Prime Minister by roguish conduct in the international community and by thorough incompetence and corruption at home in the management of our resources. It doesn't matter what he does. He believes he has the God-given right to remain as Prime Minister for however long he wants. So that's his privilege. That's how he believes. That's how he thinks about himself, and that's how he thinks about the people of Dominica. The question is, how do the people of Dominica think about themselves and their responsibility to ensure that they're not keeping, if they make the mistake of putting a rogue in the Prime Minister's office, they're not going to keep him there forever and ever, amen. They're going to do what is necessary to be done to get him out of the office and to stop the disgrace, to stop the slide of the...
But why do you think he's so confident, Lennox Linton, as the opposition?
I don't hear confidence, man. I hear confusion. I don't know where you get the confidence from. A man makes a nonsensical statement about, oh, if it's good, they really want him to go. He have a good mind to stay there until his child, Dimitri, starts making children. That's a confident statement to you? That's the statement of a confused, unbalanced mind. Because all around the civilized world, if you're in the business of government, all around the civilized world, people in leadership and governance are talking term limitations to the Prime Minister. Here in Dominica, Roosevelt Skerritt is claiming a right to be in office in Dominica until he gets to what, age 90 or 105? What is this? This is lunacy. This has nothing to do with confidence. This is a man who is in desperation mode. He's delusional, clearly, and he's all over the place just making all sorts of statements. But you know what is happening? This call that Skerritt must go, the clarion call, the clarity of the call, and the commitment and the conviction behind the call of the people of Dominica that Roosevelt Skerritt must go because of all that he has done to destroy the nation state of Dominica. It's getting to him. He doesn't like to hear it. He's accustomed to, oh, how great thou art. And all of a sudden, when people have begun to recognize what a mess he has made of our governance, how much he has helped himself, how much he has been there corruptly utilizing the resource of the country for himself while people suffer, and how much he has disgraced us with this roguish behavior in the international community. He doesn't want to reform. He doesn't feel he needs to purify himself and come better. He believes he must insanely be claiming a right to continue regardless of what he does. But people are beginning to understand this gentleman. That is why so many people turned out to the events of yesterday. These people of Dominica, these patriots of Dominica, these Christian people of good conscience are beginning to recognize we cannot be allowing this gentleman to disgrace us like that and keep him in office. Look at a simple thing, Matt. Look at the simple thing. Look at all the elderly people of Dominica who are being paraded on the television for a little assistance that they get from the public purse. You're aware of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, how come we don't see from GIS a video showing all the things that the state of Dominica has done for Roosevelt Skerritt? Roosevelt Skerritt has millions. Roosevelt Skerritt has property, real property, house there, villas over there in Dominica, in overseas territories, in the Caribbean, in the United States. How come we're not seeing pictures of all those as what the state of Dominica has done for Roosevelt Skerrit while he was their prime minister. Because before he became prime minister and before he was in government, he had nothing. He's not like some of us who built our homes and established independent lives before we got into the business of politics. He had nothing when he went there, and he is all of a sudden a super rich man. And we're wondering if you can parade these elderly people who deserve the assistance from the public purse, showing, well, look at what the state is doing for them. How come we're not seeing, if it's such a good thing to do, how come we're not seeing the videos that show how much Dominica has done for Roosevelt Skerrit while he has been serving in government? So you see the hypocrisy. You see the.
Are you suggesting that he may be hiding his wealth? Sorry.
No, I'm not suggesting he's hiding his wealth. He is hiding aspects of his wealth. Definitely, he doesn't want the people to know. But I'm saying that the people have a right to know, in the very same way as the people must know every little thing that his government does for elderly people. What is the problem with us, the people of Dominica, knowing everything that he has put away for himself, he has succeeded in doing for himself, all of the riches that he has stockpiled for himself on the backs of the people while he has been in government? We need to see that. I mean, it cannot be that you're there disgracing all these elderly people, pretending it's a good thing to do. But when we come to you now, nobody must know what you have gotten from the public purse, how you have benefited from being in charge of the public purse in the last 13 years. So man, I want to thank the people of Dominica for turning out. I want to thank the people of Dominica for the turning tide in the affairs of Dominica. I want to thank them for the emerging new understanding of what is going on and their commitment to challenge it and to ensure that we prevail with the mission to rid the government of Dominica from roguish behavior, from scandalous behavior.
Here's a question I've been asking since morning. Of course, we've been asking for Skerrit to go. Skerrit must go, according to the cause we've been hearing from the opposition for the past few weeks. Mr. Lennox Linton, the real question is, if an election were to be called today, what do we expect? Is the opposition ready?
The opposition is ready, Matt. As I've told you before, and I will say again, the opposition is ready for elections with integrity. We have been on this mission to ensure that our elections are not tainted, and that whoever emerges from the process and gets into government gets there with a clean mandate that is beyond reproach. We cannot have such a mandate where the laws of the election, the laws governing elections in Dominica, are being broken with impunity by Roosevelt Skerrit and his gang over and over again, on the grounds of bribery, on the grounds of cheating, on the grounds of illegal overseas voting, on the grounds of voting with an inaccurate register, on the grounds of voting without identification, on the grounds of access to media for the messaging of all political parties, on the grounds of campaign finance reform. We want our elections to be free and fair and free from fear. And we do not believe that the elections can be elections with integrity if we continue in the practices, the illegal, irregular practices that Roosevelt Skerrit has used in the last 3 election cycles to cheat his way into the seat of government. And it is up to the people if they wish to continue to watch that happen and not want to do anything about it. I think it is up to the people, because the power in people is greater than the people in power, to say enough is enough, and to decide that from this point onwards we will get things right, we will get things done properly. Because what we have seen is that when we don't get things right at the level of electing a government, at the level of selecting who should be there, nothing goes right for us. The people who succeed in enslaving enough people to their will and succeeded in bribing enough people and treating enough people and involving themselves in enough illegal practices to steal elections are the ones who feel no responsibility to the people for doing good and doing what is right by the people. So they have allowed, because of that, they have allowed the economy to slide further and further and further down. They have torn the lives of Dominicans apart by destroying their means of livelihood and effectively turning thousands and thousands of Dominicans every year into beggars. who are not independent, who used to know what independence was, but no longer know it, and are forced into the disgrace of lining up at a red clinic to ask for money every Wednesday. Can I have this to pay this bill? Can I have that to pay that bill? My child is sick, etc. People who knew what it was to be running their own lives. And I'm saying, if Roosevelt Skerrit so loved the people of Dominica, and he so wanted to assist them out of the goodness of the heart of government, of the people in government, where is the welfare department to ensure that there's a means test done to establish the people in need, who need X amount of money from the state every fortnight or every month end, and then that support comes to them without them having to go through the indignity of bowing down in front of a minister or the prime minister to beg and to demean themselves.
Caller, thank you very much. Opposition leader of the United Workers' Party, basically thanking the people of Dominica, of course, the supporters of the United Workers' Party, for turning out in large numbers last night. We listened to the Prime Minister. Right now I'm a little confused as to what is he really saying. Let's listen to him in Paybush.
And the rest of the years I have in government, I will ensure that you get the fullest support that you require. Because as you know, I will not be there after the next election.
All right. Now, last night he was saying something different. Let's listen.
If it's ready, go they want me to go, ladies and gentlemen. I may very well stay there with the help of God and the people of Dominica until my son Dimitri start making children. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
So you heard him in Paybush, right? You heard him.
And the rest of the years I have in government, I will ensure that you get the fullest support that you require. Because as you know, I will not be there after the next election. One of them will take over as Prime Minister. But we have some time to work, and we'll work together. So God bless you.
All right. Well, right now, Prime Minister, I really don't know what you're saying. Are you trying to confuse the people, whether you're going or coming?
If it's ready, go they want me to go, ladies and gentlemen. I may very well stay there with the help of God and the people of Dominica until my son Dimitri start making children. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
We meet tonight because wrong rules our land, and wrong has been ruling our land for too long. We meet tonight because in many quarters of this country, our freedom is asleep.
All right, 150, we go into the telephone at this time. Talk to me, sir. 151. Hello.
They will lose the election, Matt.
Repeat again.
Mommy says prayer is the root of all evil. That is Mommy. Prayer is the root of all evil. And another one.
Well, you're saying Mommy holds a cabinet position now?
No, she doesn't hold a cabinet.
Well, I don't think that Mommy has any influence on anything. 151. Hello. 23 seconds.
Good afternoon.
How you doing?
Matt, I am there.
Cool. Okay.
Matt, I am not even going to respond to that conflicting statement made by Roosevelt Skerrit.
Mm-hmm.
What is more important to me, Matt,
okay,
as a citizen of this land, is being able to vote in a system where it is free and fair, Matt. And I am saying here this afternoon, Matthew Spelty, on the record, I am willing to lead the charge of basically sleeping out at the Electoral Office Commission in order that these people in the Electoral Office do what is right. It is not Roosevelt Skerrit. There's a commission set up in order that we have free and fair elections in Dominica. Matt and I've said it already. I have read that script, I have listened to it, and I know the outcome. based on your question you asked this morning, if we are to go again into another election, brother, I am not counting my chickens before they hatch, but Roosevelt carried from 2009. Basically, he and his handlers have been perfecting the art of rigging elections, my brother. So why do we want to go in that same muddy waters and think we are so invincible? But we cannot beat Roosevelt carried in his tricky games. So I am saying here this afternoon, we need action outside electoral office on a relentless effort. We need as patriots to wake up these people at the commission. Let us draw the attention to ourselves, Matt, so that when these OAS people come here, they would have known in advance there was a group of patriots basically camping out outside this headquarters, calling for the reforms to be put in place. Matt SLT.
So is this all or that?
My brother, but yes. No way we're going to beat this criminal enterprise, Matt. At the dirty game, we need to put our boots on the ground. DBS cannot be hijacked by this government. The opposition cannot get a hearing on the nation, what you call it, nation station, my brother. And we sit down in this country thinking all is well, and thinking we're going to beat Roosevelt and this regime at their dirty game.
All right, let's ask another question. Somebody, this is another telephone. So in other words, protests outside of the election office, election commission office. I need to ask the commissioner again, what's the latest on this reform that we've been talking about? Mr. Wayne James, are you prepared to answer the question? Hello.
Hey, Matt.
I'm here.
You know, life is reality. There are two things that cannot learn, Matt. Ignorance and arrogance. Every other thing learns, but ignorance and arrogance cannot learn. And these words have meaning. And what you see or you feel might be confidence. That's what confidence is, Matt. That is bullyism. You understand? And to make that clearer to understand, it's like a situation. Imagine a situation where an old lady living next door to a young man, or say on a big strong lady, and this lady is throwing her garbage into the old lady's yard, and the old lady telling her, please don't throw my garbage in your yard, and the stronger person saying, you don't in your yard, I'll throw it inside your house. That is not confidence, that is bullyism, which is what is happening in Dominica there. And all through history there have always been bullies, but there have never been a time in the world where everybody is afraid of the bully. There will always be some people who will rise. You understand, Matt? So that ignorance and arrogance is the same kind of ignorance and arrogance that leader presented in 2004. 2003, 2004, when he said, I can do what I want, no law, no constitution, all you can bring all the lawyers. After all these years, he still haven't learned, because he come now with that same level of ignorance and arrogance. Ignorance and arrogance cannot.
But would you accept that the people are prepared to accept this? The people of Dominica.
There are some people who will accept it, but there are some who will not accept it. And therefore, it will come to a war. It will come down to a war, because everybody is never going to be afraid. And it's like the United Workers' Party said, it makes before. They are not going into an election without electoral reform. And we have to stick to that, because, Matt, you demand, like one caller said a while ago, it's like going and fighting for a pig in mud. The pig will beat you. That is natural habitat. You will not beat these fellas in election if there is no electoral reform, because they're controlling everything. You go in their lab, one fight them. You cannot beat them. We have to, if there is not electoral reform, we have to find another way to force these fellas out of the choking position they have over the country, not through election.
All right, caller, thank you very much. You see, it appears that everybody believes that if there's no election reform, so some people believe that, one-on-one, if the playing field is level, then the United Workers' Party can win. There's some who doesn't believe it at all. 449-3095, we're coming to the end of the talk on the block. I know you never wanted to end, right? Let's listen to the Prime Minister again.
And if it's ready, go they want me to go, ladies and gentlemen. I may very well stay there with the help of God and the people of Dominica until my son Dimitri start making children. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. And the rest of the years I have in government, I will ensure that you get the fullest support that you require. Because as you know, I will not be there after the next election.
I'm really confused at this time. Last week you're saying one thing, and this week you're saying something different. Maybe it's all intentional. It's a psychology. Hello.
Good afternoon, Matt. How are you?
Repeat.
Hello.
I'm here, Mom. I'm here.
Okay, how are you?
I'm okay for now.
Okay. Santa Mosab, après Bodier c'est la paix. Right, Bravo tel Camon, si je vois. So si Skerrit quoi, il a fait la tête à la pour la vie éternelle. Dis pourquoi.
Okay, c'est bon Dieu qui a décidé ça.
La tête à la fait passer, après Bodier c'est la paix.
All right, 1:59, our final call and we'll wrap it up in the afternoon Friday. Hello, talk to me. We'll be back on Monday morning. Next week, I'll be planning to repeat His Bad with Joshua Francis. Hello, talk to me.
Matt, you see, the thing about it is, we know already the Labour Party fight dirty. What we need in Dominica is real, pure, unadulterated defiance. Dominicans have to learn to tighten the belts, pull up their socks, and do like Savret told us, and let's defy the authority, because there is no authority really. And Skerrit doesn't love Dominica, neither does he even love his child. Fidel Castro didn't want his children involved in politics, and you're talking about Dimitri, and Dimitri becomes a man you will say politics. So what? Is it your father or your mother piece of land they live there for you to put your child in it when you live?
Somebody's asking me, what about his other son? No consideration? My good friend Yvette, good afternoon to you. 2 o'clock. No consideration for this son? Okay, talk on the block is over until Monday. Until Monday.